Hey guys, what's up? Time for an ASMR video. I actually entered a tournament again for the first time in, has it been like 12 years or something since I won that last one? Although to be honest, I'm going to warn you right now. This isn't really, I'm not going to talk a lot about video games. I'm going to talk about more the psychological aspect. So if you're looking for a lot of video game shit, I'm not going to talk too much about the video game aspect. I'm going to talk about the psychological aspect because I talk about, competitive ego, how much you care about something and being able to live with any excuse you have, right? So, if you remember, or if you looked at my channel, I recently played Karnav's Revenge for the first time. I think it was in 3 years. Someone said they think it's 4 years, but I think it was 3 years. And you can look at my name on Fightcade, whatever it is. I just made it because I hadn't played it in a few years. And I'm not even at 2 hours yet. I think I'm at like an hour and a half. I've played the game this month, right? So whatever. I guess there is this big yearly, big quotation marks, right? Big, right? This Karnov Revenge tournament this month, right? And I know I was really busy yesterday, but the Doomheart guy, he messaged me. He's like, "Oh yeah, remember there's this Karnov's tournament if you want to enter." And I was like, "Ah, yeah." It's like, I'm really busy today. Maybe if I can get home in time, I'll just enter. I'm like, if you want, make a name, sign up, and I'll play under your name if I can actually get there in time, right? So that's basically what happened. I basically got home basically an hour right before it started. I rushed, and long story short, I got second at the tournament. And I guess it's weird because I don't think I know I wasn't playing well, and I still got second. And I guess, man, I think first the guy won. I think he won like $400, right? So that's pretty good. I would have liked $400 instead of $150. But and again, I'm going to get into the psychological aspect of being able to live with any excuse you can have. So say the guy that beat me, right? And I don't want to talk about who I beat, who was in the tournament, who beat me. I mean, the guy plays, and that's cool. And I think it's good that he beat me as well, because from a certain perspective, because it shows that the game has progressed, I guess. You know what I mean? The community has progressed, right? Because maybe from a certain perspective, the game would have looked worse if I could have won the tournament without even playing the game for 2 hours in 3 years, right? That probably, from a certain perspective, maybe that would have made the community look bad, right? So I think from a certain perspective, I can take a positive. You know what I mean? But like, this makes the community is better. You know what I mean? And that's, I talk about not having a competitive ego, and I don't feel, hopefully you can hear it in my voice, I feel disappointed, kind of melancholy, because I would have liked, I feel like I only feel melancholy because I would have liked an extra $300, honestly, right? But I don't have the competitive ego to feel mad that I lost. Does that make sense? I don't feel mad that I lost, just disappointed. And I think, when I talk about being able to live with any excuse you have, and I always tried to make that my goal. After, doctors were telling me I could die in the hospital all those years ago, I told myself that if I'm going to die, I want to be able to die knowing that any excuse I have is something I can live with, right? And that's why my main goal in life is fitness and being as healthy as I can be. And trust me, I've never achieved my fitness goals. I just can't do it with my health. But I know that my excuse when I can't push myself, I can live with it because I know that I really fucking try, right? Just like in video games, I actually don't think I was playing that well, the tournament. You know what I mean? I wasn't feeling that good. I was tired. I'm sick. You know what I mean? I can live with the fact that I lost. I feel disappointed, but I don't feel I was playing that great. And so it's just like, okay, well, I lost. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes, and this is what I want to get into too. I think, a lot of people in the video game community or anything, when there is a competitive endeavor, and for a lot of people that their only live is video game, it's their only thing that they cling to. It's why so many people make up lies about me that I was able to beat them as a kid all these years later, right? When you invest so much time into something, you care a lot, right? And you need to have excuses, but because you can't live with that excuse that you were not better than somebody, right? And so let's look at another example. So I would have been mad. So there was a couple people I played in the tournament that the lag was super fucking bad. Like I would have been pretty salty if I lost to that. Like it was skipping all over the place, right? It was really bad. It was obnoxiously bad, right? But so let's look at this say something. So there was another known guy, and again, I don't want to get into people's names because I don't want to get into a cock measuring contest, but so the guy that won, he beat another known guy in the game, and the guy was mad about how laggy the setup was for him, right? And I can tell you, the guy that won, yeah, it was, I don't know, actually, I don't fucking know exactly where he lives, some other continent, right? For me personally, when I played him, I don't think it was laggy enough that I could blame the lag and live with myself. Does that make sense? Having an excuse that you can live with? Yeah, it was fast. You know what I mean? And man, I beat him the first match, and then he just steamrolled me. He beat me. He steamrolled me. Every other match, he steamrolled me pretty much, right? And trust me, there were a lot of drops. I saw him drop a couple things, and I dropped a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? But some of the stuff that was hitting me, it wasn't lag that I couldn't react to. Do you know what I mean? It was just kind of like, I know if I was playing better, I could have reacted to that. So when I think of the excuse for me as a person, the excuse or the blame has to go on me. And I know that I can live blaming myself because I know what I am capable in games, right? You know what I mean? A lot of times, my execution, it was shoddy. He executed better than me. There's got to be there's got to be a winner. There's got to be a loser, right? He executed better than he beat me. You know what I mean? I could have played the match better too, but I always say Karn's Revenge, man. I get tired of mashing on jabs so much with these fucking hands, but that's what I was trying to get into. So there's another guy who plays the game way more than me, from what I understand. You can look online, and he's a known guy, and he lost to the dude, and you could see he was furious in the stream, right? And he was complaining about the lag a lot, and I don't know how the lag was when they played, but I can say a couple of the other guys that I played, their lag was really bad, right? It was obnoxiously bad, teleporting all over. The guy that won, I don't think his lag, or I guess the lag period for both players, was unreactable if you were playing well. It was fast, but I would blame that on me. I got to hold that because I know I can play better. And so I guess, you know, when I'm just talking about competitive ego, you need to be able to live with any excuse you have in life. And I guess, you know, the convenient, you know, people be like, well, oh, you can just say that because, you know, you did well or something like that. And yeah, I guess. But I feel like that's basically been my perspective always on video games. You know what I mean? I know what I've done in video games. I know the community tries to hide it. That's how you know how much I've done in video games. And any excuse I have in video games is an excuse that I can live with because I know it's a real one. You know what I mean? Whereas so many other people, you see them talk about video games and you could tell these guys, they're just mad that they're actually not good. They've devoted themselves to something and they're not actually the best, despite how much. I'm not saying for that one guy that he's devoted his life to this game or something like that. That's not what I'm just trying to get into. I'm kind of generalizing the conversation about video games, but you know, you see people make up lies about things as coping mechanisms, and sometimes it's on you, right? And I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel disappointed, but I guess I just don't care enough to get mad about it. You know, I don't care enough to get mad about it. There's other priorities in life. I care enough to be disappointed that I don't have an extra $400 or whatever it is. I care that not much, but does that make sense? Considering how I played, considering the circumstances, to be able to get second, you know, to win $150, whatever, just like that. I mean, I'll take it, right? Anyway, that's kind of it's more of a psychological video, I guess, but remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Thanks, the end.